So apparently Xbox is blackmailing consumers to not cancel their Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. And if it wasn't bad enough, the government is actually stepping in to stop Xbox raising their prices for Game Pass by 50%. It is crazy. This past week has been a hell of a week for Xbox. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I'm your pal Blaze. Consider clicking the like, subscribing, and clicking the bell icon for more gaming commentary, news, reactions, tech news, all the good stuff. Click it. Click the button. It would be awesome. So obviously there's been a lot of controversy, guys, around Xbox recently. Obviously the Xbox Game Pass price increase 50%, which is wild. And this is another reason why I've never been a massive fan of subscription services, whether it's TV, whether it's music, whether it's now gaming, is because year after year you get price increases upon price increases, and I feel like the service doesn't get any better. Let me know if you agree in the comment section. It's a slippery slope, right? It's a slippery slope. They lure you in with a cheap monthly cost. 500 games, they say. 500 games for $15 a month. The next year, it's $20 a month. 6 months later, it's $25 a month. And before you know it, we're up to cable TV prices, $70, $80 a month, $120 a month for certain plans. It's getting a little bit out of control, and that's why I'm not a fan of subscription services in general. Yeah, Game Pass, I'm going to give them a pass because I like the service. You get a lot of games, like I says, for a decent price. Now it's $30. Some might disagree, but obviously, you know, I just don't think it's good in the long run. You know, it's a short-term win for all those games, but at the same time, you're not owning those games. You're not getting to own them. You're not getting to enjoy them 10 years from now when you forget about them and realize that you bought them 10 years ago. It's I don't know, pay to play. It's just not great. So I came across this post over on X from Pirate Nation. So basically, he's taking the standpoint that Xbox is basically blackmailing the consumer to not cancel the current subscriptions. Basically, if you don't know, Xbox raised their price for Game Pass. They got a lot of flack from the community for it. And basically, they're saying, guys, slow down, it's fine. Those who do not cancel their current Game Pass subscription, well, you guys are okay. As long as you keep that auto renew button turned on, you can keep paying the same price that you're currently paying for it. So everyone was like, oh, that's great news. Wait, hold on. So we have to not cancel our subscription. You're basically saying if you cancel it, you get a price increase. But if you don't cancel it, then we'll let you pay what you're paying. Now, some might see that as a good thing. Some might see that as blackmail, like Pirate Nation does. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So basically, here's what Xbox had to say regarding the recent Xbox Game Pass price adjustments. Recently, you may have heard about changes to the price of Game Pass subscriptions, and at this time, these increases will only affect new purchases and will not affect your current subscription for the market in which you reside, as long as you are on the auto-recurring plan. Should you choose to cancel your plan, and repurchase, you will be charged at the current rate. If for any reason there may be changes to your existing account, we will notify you 60 days in advance, and you will have the option to cancel and change your subscription plan at any time. Thank you for being an Xbox Game Pass subscriber. We'll continue to strive to deliver you the highest quality games, the amazing value, and the incredible gaming experience, and the slowly growing price of our monthly subscription. Look forward to paying more for the same, if not less. I added that bit in. They never said that, but yeah. They said everything else up to, you know, amazing value and an incredible gaming experience. You know, as the price increases, that value sort of diminishes. I mean, we've all seen how Netflix is, right? We pay more every year, and then it gets worse every year. It's like, what's going on? Jamie here responds saying, this is pretty standard for price increases. Hulu, Netflix, GFN, and so forth. All for the grandfather unless you cancel. I'm not sure how this is blackmailing. Even Sony did this with PSN a while ago. Need them engagements up, I take it. That explains why my price didn't go up on PC Game Pass. I agreed. I was wondering that. I saw the PC Game Pass prices go up, but I was like, my subscription is less than that. So yeah, if you're currently on auto renewal, you'll be paying the same price. I wonder if your payment fails or something like that. If they end up bumping up the price, I hope not. Would have helped a little if they mentioned this. So honestly, in my opinion, I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I think that's the right way to do it. I think there was a lot of backlash, a lot of people not wanting to pay a price increase, you know, and for those that are already the true people, there was a lot of people complaining about the Xbox Game Pass price increase, right? And the majority of the people doing the complaining don't even have Game Pass to begin with. So So at least those that are true Game Pass customers and gamers, well, you can take some comfort in knowing that you're not going to be getting a price increase, at least not right now, which is, I think, is a good thing. Now, let's move on to the government. The government, and specifically the EU, because Xbox is apparently reverting the Game Pass price increase for EU residents due to EU consumer protection laws. Now, say what you want about EU. They're overreaching. They can, they're constantly trying to legislate, add regulations, all that crap. And I think over-regulation is a bad thing. I've always said that. I think the more you stifle the market, the harder it gets to start a new business, to do things. Over-regulation hurts the smaller guy the most, right? They say they're bringing in all these laws and regulations to regulate markets, and it's aiming the big giants, the Microsofts and the Googles. But at the end of the day, if you're a small business like I have been for the past 10, 15 years, 15 years? Yeah, about 15. 10 to 15 years. I've been self-employed and haven't run my own business. And, a lot of these regulations impact the small guys the most. And that doesn't get covered in the mainstream news. So I'm against over-regulation, but sometimes it can turn out to be a good thing. And this case with Game Pass, the Game Pass subscription going up. Current subscribers with auto-renewal enabled will keep the old price, but new purchase or repurchases after cancellation will face the new rate. So basically what happened before, some people call it blackmail, other people call this whole grandfathering in thing a good thing. So yeah, essentially, as for the price hikes, at least as far as across the board, the US and the UK will be getting shafted pretty heavily from Microsoft, whereas some current subscribers in some European countries in the EU will not be affected due to the EU's laws and regulations on price gouging and price increases. So basically, Xbox Game Pass subscribers in Poland, Ireland, Italy, Germany, and South Korea have all reported that they received emails today. This change in these countries is likely related to local regulations on subscription price changes, and it means in Ireland, existing customers with auto-renew enabled will still be charged a €17.99 monthly rate instead of the new €26.99 pricing. Microsoft notes in the email that existing subscribers in these markets will be notified at least 60 days in advance of price changes, meaning the changes will not go into effect for at least 2 more months. I think that's a good thing. Let me know how you feel about laws that regulate subscription prices. Obviously, I think, on one hand, it's a good thing, especially with everything going to subscription services now. I mean, look, you can't even download an app and use an app these days without needing some sort of subscription service for it, right? To access a lot of the main features. I know it's the way things are going with live services, because yeah, it's great buying software. As a software developer myself, as somebody, if you make a piece of software and you sell it for like the same price and the person only buys it once, you're having to maintain that software and update that software, right? So the cost for you, imposed on you for developing and updating that app and keeping it working for everyone, you still have to keep paying the costs, whereas somebody pays, a single price and they get to enjoy the benefits for a lifetime. So I understand, if apps want to get better and you want to keep getting updates for things and keep things getting better, then subscription costs are a good way of doing that, and it keeps the game and the app and the software updated and funded for further development, and helps keep it getting better, right, in the long run. And I see why subscription services are a good thing, but also as a customer, I could also see how it can be overwhelming when you've got 50 subscription services and you have to make hard choices about what to cancel and what to keep, right? And yeah, 2 sides to every coin. But let me know, do you think the government should step in and be like, hey, you have to alert people 60 days in advance of a price increase to your subscription stuff? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you think either Microsoft or Xbox are blackmailing us gamers here to keep our subscriptions and not to cancel it for fear of a price increase, or do you think this is a good thing? Do you think they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart to basically say, hey, we're not going to shaft our current Xbox Game Pass subscribers, this is only going to affect new people? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm Blaze2K, your old pal Blaze. Consider liking, subscribing, click the bell icon for my gaming take, my Xbox take. We're getting close to Halloween, so come join me every day at 1 p.m. on stream. I'm going to be playing some horror games. I'm going to be playing Battlefield 6 on Friday. Cannot wait. But yeah, have a wonderful day. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Let's go.